Third graders, when we left off in writing and where we're kind of at now is we have our topic sentence. And our topic sentence is going to state our theme and our characters. We good? Good. We know that our theme we're working with is irresponsibility and the character is Toad. Then we talked about how we need to have reasons and a specific example from the story. So examples of someone being irresponsible is Toad steals a car. He's irresponsible because he's stealing. That's our reason. And right away we put in the example of the car. Okay? Another thing that he's irresponsible about is that he lied. Were there some examples of him lying throughout our story? Even we wrote this before yesterday's reading, and then there were examples of it. So he lies to the barge woman. He lies to the rat about not feeling well. You told me it was the rat, not the mole. You're right. Yesterday he lied to the gypsy, right? Yeah. And then he lied to the two old men in the car. He lied to lots of people yesterday in our story as well. So lots of examples of lying. Another reason he was irresponsible was that he crashed things, boats, motor cars, caravan, or he spends too much money in boats and cars. He's wasting all his money. You can pick either one, what you want to do. Maybe you have something a little bit different, and that's okay too. These are just, we're all writing about the same thing, but is it okay if your ideas are a little different? Mm-hmm. Definitely. And then finally, we talk about a concluding sentence. And in a concluding sentence, it's going to repeat what you said in your topic sentence. So you need to get the point across to your reader that I'm writing about the theme of your responsibility, and Toad is the character I'm talking about. Third graders, what we've done so far is we planned it, making our graphic organizers that are up on the wall. Right? We then went to drafting, where we have it right here. Third graders, what we are going to start to do today is we're going to start to write our piece. So we're going to take what we have on our plan page here, and we're going to put it into complete sentences. One thing I want you to think about is, and this is important, I know a lot of you are going to skip this step because we have 1, 2, 3, right? But this step is so important. When you go to start writing it, you want to make sure that your reasons or your evidence go in the order of how they happened in the story, okay? So my example of that is our reason number 1 is he steals a car. But does that happen right at the beginning? No, it didn't happen right at the beginning. But did it happen before he lied? Yeah. Okay. But he kind of, before he stole this car, that car we were talking about, didn't he have to lie to rat? Did this happen before he started crashing things? He crashed the boats first, right? Yeah. He crashed the caravan first. So this might need to be your first reason and evidence. So you need to think about the order that these happened in as you write them. What we are going to be doing today is continuing that drafting part where we're going to turn this into complete sentences, and we're going to be revising. Do you guys know what revising is? Revising is fabulous. So many people think revising is editing. Editing is when you look for capital letters and punctuation and is this spelled correctly. Revising is way cooler. Revising to me is so much more important because revising is where you make your writing make sense. Revising is when you look at something and you go, oh, I need to add more here, and you add it in. Or, this piece of information doesn't really fit, and you take it out. Or remember how we just talked about when you're writing this today, we want to make sure that the events are in order. Maybe you write it out and then you realize, oh, him spending too much would go first because that's what got him into all this trouble anyway. Yeah. So if I wrote everything and that was last, in revising, we might need to rewrite it and move it. We can also use some cool editing marks or revising marks, and we circle it and we just move it. Sometimes you revise 1, 2, 3, 4 times before you get to that final piece. And it doesn't have to be a total revision, but maybe it's like, hey, this sentence didn't need it. And you think you're good, but then you go back through later and you're like, but I could add this. That's revising. The adding, the taking away, and the moving is the revising piece. And it's awesome. It is so important. But can I tell you a secret? Yeah. Third graders are L-A-Z-Y, lazy when it comes to revising. But are you guys going to be lazy this year? No. These third graders are going to be super power strong when it comes to revising. Promise? You're going to be willing to remove things. Will you remove things from your writing?
Yes.
When needed, you will. Will you move things around in your writing so it makes the best sense?
Yes.
Will you add things to your writing even if it means writing more?
Yes.
Definitely. Will you do it more than once if it's necessary?
Yes.
Good writers are going to revise a lot and a few times in order to make it work. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to be working with the checklist, and we're going to actually start to work on the actual drafting, the writing piece of this. So you guys can all turn. So we have 12.3. It says 12.3 up top. This is page 119 in your book. Page 119. What page?
119.
And we're going to use this, but we're not going to use this checklist until we've actually done the writing piece. But this is something you're going to be thinking about. As you write and as you revise your paragraph, this is one paragraph, you're going to come in here. So do I have a topic sentence? Do I have a concluding sentence? Are there any parts that don't make sense? Do my sentences flow in order? Do I have a variety of sentence structures? So some long sentences, some short sentences. 19. Did I say 17? 19.
You said 17. You said 19.
Could I combine any of my sentences? That's a huge piece. We say sentence variety. Can you combine any of your sentences? That'd be a good one. Is my paragraph interesting? Or is it like, meh? And is this my best work? So we're going to be coming back and checking this. Turn the page one more time. And today we're going to use this page, page 121, and we are going to start our writing. Now this is one paragraph. We're all going to use pencils. One cool thing about paragraphs is we indent. So everybody look at this top line. You see how it's darker?
Yeah.
What do you think that's for? The title. Third graders, this is something that can be revised and changed too. We write a title to it, but can we change it later?
Yeah.
We want to change it to fit our paragraph later. So I'm going to title it today to start Opinions of Toad. But you do what you want. We know it's a theme. We know that we're looking at Toad's irresponsibility, right? You put what you want. Write your title. Titles need to start with what? I might find later this doesn't fit. Sweetie, what have we been working on for 2 days? Nope, answer my question. What have we been working on for 2 days? You are going to be writing what we've been planning and drafting for 2 days. Got it? I'm going to pause you for one moment. I know some of you are working on that title, and that's fabulous, but let's go pencils down, eyes up here. You can finish your title in a moment. And I want to jump down to this next line. Do you see this next line?
Yeah.
Do you see how it doesn't start all the way over to the side?
Yeah.
When we write paragraphs, that first sentence, we want to indent it. So where that line starts right there is a good example of indenting. So when you start writing, you write there. Every other sentence following, or every other line, I should say, following, starts way over at the side, okay? I know that sometimes it's tempting to start to write and your writing goes in. If you notice that, push it back to the side and go to the side again, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect right now, but we're going to work on it. The first thing your writing needs to have, and we can jump back, is that topic sentence. What I want to see you to do today is work on writing your topic sentence and then start to put your reasons and your evidence in an order they happened into your writing, okay? I'm going to let you start writing. I'll start writing a little bit too, and then I'll share my example with you. Sound good? We only have about just a few minutes to get started if we're going to read Wind in the Willows today. Go. Third graders, I have taken what I did. I'm going to have eyes up here. I have taken my opinion planning sheet, and I'm starting to take this information and put it into complete sentences over here. Do I need to come up with all new things? The really Absolutely not, Charlie. Don't come up with new things. What is the point of planning and drafting just to start over fresh now? We want to take all that effort that we put in up there on our wall with our graphic organizer. We put it into our planning page. We want to use that and now turn it into a paragraph, okay? So right here on my planning page, I say, I think Toad is the best example of the theme irresponsibility in this story. I put that on this page, but I may have changed it a tiny bit. I believe Toad is the best example of the theme irresponsibility in The Wind in the Willows. Okay, so I changed it a tiny bit. Now I'm going to start to go into my reasons and my examples, but I'm going to make sure that they're in the order they happened in the story. Aiden, I'm up here, bud. Toad is irresponsible. Remember, we're always talking about him being irresponsible, so we want to circle back to it. Toad is irresponsible because he spends all the money from his dad. That was one example we said of irresponsibility on our chart, is he spends all the money. Spends too much money, right? We said some examples were boats and cars. Pencil down, follow along. I'm going to take those ideas and put them into complete sentences, okay? Another reason, Toad is irresponsible because he spends all the money from his dad. That's the reason. Now I'm going to give examples from the story. He buys boats, caravans, and motor cars and is losing his money, okay? My next piece says another reason, I'm using a transition word, is that Toad crashes the things he buys. So we come over here and we say he crashes things, right? We said boats, motor cars, and caravans. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that now. And it's a whole new sentence. Toad crashes every boat in the beginning, a caravan in the middle, and a motor car at the end. So I'm telling you even where it happened, all right? I'm going to pick one more reason to continue writing. I'm not creating new stuff. I'm not creating new ideas. I'm taking the ideas we had and I'm putting them into complete sentences. If I write about him spending too much money, my next sentence is going to be examples of what he spent money on. If I write about him crashing things, my next sentence is going to be examples of him crashing things, okay? Again, I said Alexa was flipping back and forth between her writing today and that opinion page. And that is fabulous, okay? Because that's using the resource we already created to help you along the way. I'm going to give you guys a few more minutes, and we might just need to do our read aloud at another time. Sound good? Few more minutes. Part of that is because I look around and I have people who have less than a sentence, but I also have people who are filling up their page. So those people who don't have anything yet need to get their hands moving.